The rain fell steadily, coating the cobblestone streets of London with a silvery sheen, as thick fog enveloped the city like a shroud. Sounds of distant footsteps echoed through the mist, blending with the rhythm of dripping water from overhanging eaves. It was on this quiet, rainy night that Alara drifted through the spectral haze, her translucent form barely visible, yet her sorrow palpable. Once a vibrant artist, her laughter and dreams were lost to the depths of time, silenced by her untimely demise. Now she wandered the familiar streets she once called home, drawn to the memories etched into every corner. Each shadow carried whispers of forgotten hopes, and in her heart a longing stirred, an ache for connection and purpose in guiding other lost souls. As the fog swirled around her, Alara felt the weight of unseen stories, beckoning her toward fate's inevitable convergence. Arthur sat alone in his dimly lit studio, the weight of loss pressing heavily on his heart. The vibrant colors of his paints felt muted, devoid of the inspiration his grandmother had infused into every brushstroke. Memories of her warm laughter and gentle encouragement echoed in his mind, a stark contrast to the cold silence surrounding him. As the rain pattered against the window, he recalled their long conversations about art and life, how she had always seen the potential in him, nurturing his dreams. Now those dreams felt like a distant whisper, buried beneath the grief that consumed him. Family expectations loomed like a shadow, a constant reminder of the path others wanted him to take, one that felt suffocating and far removed from the world of creativity. Each day was a struggle against despair, a battle to honor her legacy while grappling with the haunting absence left in her wake. Seeking solace, he turned to the foggy streets of London, desperate for clarity in his sorrow. Alara floated silently through the fog, her ethereal form a mere whisper against the backdrop of London's shadowy streets. As raindrops danced on the cobblestones, she closed her eyes, allowing the memories of her vibrant past to wash over her. Once, she had been filled with ambition, her studio overflowing with canvases alive with color and hope. But an unexpected tragedy had shattered those dreams, leaving her trapped in the haunting solitude of the city she had once loved. The vibrant hues of her life faded into the gray mist swirling around her as she lamented the opportunities lost. She longed to connect with those still alive, hoping to guide them away from the despair that had cocooned her for so long. When she sensed Arthur's spirit, surrounded by his own grief, she felt a flicker of hope, the possibility of redemption for both of them intertwined in the echoes of their lost dreams. As the moonlight struggled to pierce the heavy fog, Arthur wandered the familiar yet alien streets of London, each step echoing his turmoil. The chill in the air seemed to whisper secrets, drawing him deeper into the mist. Lost in his thoughts, he barely noticed the change, a sudden drop in temperature that sent shivers down his spine. He paused, feeling an inexplicable presence surrounding him. Just before he turned away, a fleeting shadow flickered in the corner of his eye, leaving him bewildered and oddly intrigued. In that moment of uncertainty, Arthur felt an electric connection to the unknown. Was it merely the fog, or something more? An invitation perhaps from the keeper of forgotten hopes? A craving for solace tugged at him, compelling him to return to this haunted essence of the city. There was a pull that echoed the grief in his heart, hinting at an unveiling yet to come, as if fate awaited his next move. Intrigued by the fleeting shadow he had encountered, Arthur found himself sitting across from a medium in a dimly lit room filled with the scent of incense and flickering candlelight. The air felt charged with a strange energy as the woman's eyes, deep and knowing, locked onto his. "You've seen her, haven't you?" she asked, her voice a haunting whisper. Surprised, Arthur hesitated, recalling the chill that wrapped around him in the fog. The medium continued, "Elara has been waiting for someone like you, someone who can understand the weight of lost dreams." Each word resonated within Arthur, stirring hope and apprehension. She spoke of connections that spanned beyond life and death, hinting that Elara's story mirrored his own grief. He clenched his fists, a resolve building within him. If Elara sought understanding, perhaps he could help her, and through that, begin to heal his own wounded heart. As Arthur struggled through another sleepless night, paintbrush in hand, an unseen presence enveloped him, urging his creativity to flow. Unbeknownst to him, Elara, the ethereal ghost lingering in the fog, felt a spark of hope as she watched him. She hovered close, her essence intertwining with the colors on his canvas, guiding each stroke with a gentle whisper of inspiration. With each night spent creating, Arthur poured his grief into his work. Vivid colors swirling and blending. The images he conjured spoke of sorrow, love, and the uncharted path of his heart. But there was also something new, a flicker of life he hadn't known he could harness. He felt as though each brushstroke carried a hint of Elara's lost ambitions, her dreams breathing quietly through his artistry. Thus, a silent bond formed in the depths of his loneliness, uniting two kindred spirits, navigating the intricate dance of grief and hope. As Arthur ventured once more into the fog-shrouded streets, he found himself whispering into the mist, hoping that his words might reach Elara, the elusive spirit who had captivated his thoughts. In the stillness, the fog swirled around him almost playfully, as if responding to his call. Then he felt her presence, a gentle warmth amid the chill of the night. "Do you believe dreams can be reborn?" she asked, her voice a soft echo against the rain-soaked cobblestones. Arthur paused, compelled to share his turmoil. "I wish I could paint again, but the grief," he started, trailing off. Elara emerged, her shimmering form illuminated by the glow of a distant streetlight. "You carry not just sorrow, but the essence of those you loved. Let that guide your brush." They spoke into the night, sharing their aspirations and fears, forging an ethereal bond that transcended the boundaries of life and death. In each exchange, hope emerged, like the first light of dawn breaking through the fog. Arthur stood before the blank wall by the Thames, a canvas yearning for life. With his grandmother's memory etched in his heart, he felt a deep need to express his grief and honor her legacy. As he dipped his brush into vibrant colors, a chill swept through the air, and he sensed Elara's presence nearby, guiding him from beyond. Each stroke of the brush seemed to resonate with her ethereal energy, weaving their stories together in a tapestry of shared sorrow and hope. Imagery of swirling mists and blooming flowers began to take shape, symbolizing the beauty that could arise from loss. Arthur poured his heart into the mural, allowing his emotions to flow freely, as if Elara whispered encouragement with every flick of his wrist. The mural blossomed into a visual tribute, a celebration of dreams, both fulfilled and unfulfilled. In that moment, he felt their connection deepening, binding their fates as they faced the uncertain world ahead. An ominous storm gathered over London, its dark clouds swirling like the unresolved yearnings within Elara and Arthur. The air grew heavy with anticipation, mirroring their intertwined fates and the emotional weight that filled the space between them. Elara floated near the River Thames, sensing that her time as the keeper of forgotten hopes was dwindling. Every crack of thunder reverberated through her ethereal form, a reminder that she must confront the shadows of her past. Arthur, restless and drawn by an inexplicable pull, pondered his choices. The storm's intensity mirrored his inner turmoil, igniting a fierce desire to confront both his grief and the truth behind Alara's tragic story. With every raindrop that fell, he felt her presence urging him forward. Filled with determination, he stepped into the storm, realizing that to find solace for himself and Alara, he would have to embrace the tempest waiting in the heart of the river. As the storm raged outside, Arthur found himself drawn toward the river Thames, the relentless downpour echoing the turmoil in his heart. The historical significance of this place weighed heavily on him. Tales of dreams and souls lost to the waters whispered in his mind. It was here, amidst the crashing waves and swirling fog, that he hoped to uncover answers about Alara's past and his own grief. He stood at the riverbank, the air thick with anticipation, his thoughts a tempest of longing and uncertainty. The ghostly figure of Alara lingered in his memory, guiding him to confront his feelings head-on. He felt an inseparable connection to her, a shared pain that transcended lifetimes. As the storm intensified, he called out for Alara, his voice barely audible over the thunder, yearning for answers, for guidance, and for resolution that seemed just beyond his grasp, waiting in the depths of the swirling current. As the storm raged, Arthur felt compelled to call out for Alara, his voice barely rising above the howling wind. To his astonishment, she appeared before him, her form shimmering in the tempest's chaos. The air crackled with energy as their worlds converged, the barrier between life and death dissolving. Alara's sorrowful eyes met his, and in that moment they shared their deepest truths, woven together by grief and longing. Alara revealed the circumstances of her untimely death, the weight of guilt that had tethered her spirit to the fog-laden streets of London. Arthur listened, heart pounding, as he understood the magnitude of their connection. The tempest around them intensified, mirroring their emotional turmoil. In this dramatic climax, they both faced the specters of their pasts, forced to confront their vulnerabilities and the possibility of healing through acceptance and forgiveness. Together, they stood on the precipice of change, ready to embrace what lay ahead. As the storm raged around them, Alara turned her sorrowful gaze to Arthur, the turbulent winds reflecting the tempest within. In that visceral moment, she extended her hand, a delicate invitation wrapped in vulnerability. "You have felt my grief just as I have felt yours, but I am not merely a lingering shadow. I have a choice to make." The rain fell heavy, soaking both spirits as they faced the heart of their pain. Alara's voice trembled. "Help me find closure, or carry on in sorrow." Arthur's heart raced, torn between empathy for her lost dreams and the burden of his own grief. He recalled the memories of his grandmother, her laughter, her wisdom. With a fierce resolve shimmering in his eyes, Arthur stepped closer, whispering, "I want to help you, to free us both." The storm intensified, urging them to confront their deepest fears, as each breathed in the promise of acceptance and release. The storm raged on, crackling with tension as Arthur stood at the edge of the Thames, heart pounding. With each wave that crashed against the shore, he felt the weight of his grief and Alara's unfulfilled dreams pressing down harder. "Let go," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the storm's roar. Taking a deep breath, he reached for her spectral hand. Together they delved into the memories that had haunted them both, moments filled with ambition, expectation, and irrevocable loss. As they confronted each sorrow, the angry clouds began to dissipate. Arthur's heart swelled with understanding. In helping Alara face her pain, he felt his own begin to lift. The skies lightened, revealing the first glimmers of dawn. In that moment of catharsis, they both realized that forgiveness was the key to freedom, an essential step toward healing. They stood on the precipice of a new beginning, ready to embrace the light.